Next, he says, switch from a PIN code to a complex password.
A lot of times people will shoulder surf you, so if you're out at a public place, they may look over your shoulder and watch you type in a 6-digit passcode, and then when there's a time that you're not paying attention, swipe your phone.
Clary says she will continue to spread awareness.
If I did not do something, John would be haunting me every day until I died. Don't keep everything on your cell phone. I know that's inconvenient, but what's more inconvenient, losing everything and having to deal with it, or just having to deal with another device?
And that was Nick Foley reporting. Another way to keep your phone secure, get a hardware key or token to log into the accounts on your actual cell phone.
And now, your Storm Center 7 forecast with meteorologist Robert Gauthreaux III.
It's a really nice night tonight.
It is. In fact, it's very clear, and so you might see some nice things in the sky, like stars or maybe the moon. I think it's basically a half moon tonight. Or you might see a Starlink satellite train like this one sent in from our own Todd Hulse from the Evening Edge on WHIO Radio. Got this picture in just the nick of time. So thanks, Todd. And sometimes you see something like this, and you might be able to see, maybe you did see it tonight. I don't know what star this is, but I know Venus is exceptionally bright. It really, in the last couple of weeks, it has been. In fact, I think last week it reached its brightest of the year. Regardless, it is a generally clear night across the region. And it's not a bad night at all. I mean, it's still kind of cool like it was early this morning. And you can see here, it's also been very wet. Now, if we actually take a look at the moisture deficit map, you'll notice that there's not much of a deficit. I mean, you see a little color here and there, but the map is generally gray, indicating that we're pretty good as far as rain is concerned. A lot of rain, we've had decent rain lately, but we haven't had this much rain. Like we mentioned up in New England in the last several days, we've seen a lot up there. In fact, here specifically in Putnam County, New York, you can see perhaps somewhere near 8 inches. I think it's Lake Oscawana, I think, is around there. I'm familiar with that lake. It's actually pretty famous, but right around there is we've seen a lot of rainfall. Big reason why we haven't seen a lot of rain in our area is because of this strong area of high pressure. And that's one reason why we have some stagnant air across the region leading into our air quality alerts for a few counties tomorrow. But it's also bringing us some very, very nice air. In fact, this morning it was a bit on the cool side. Temperatures actually dropped to the low 60s, and so if you were a fan of that, well, you're going to see it again tonight. This morning we got down to about 61 degrees, and we're going to probably be a degree or two above that. There may still be a few places that reach the 50s, like up here near Wapakoneta, or perhaps up in Logan County. Urbana is always the cool spot. But overall, we are trending warmer into the next several days. We're going to start to get a little bit more humidity. Now, temperatures are still in the low 70s in Dayton. If you're north of Dayton, most of you are in the 60s at this point. And you can see here, it is a little bit warmer than it was this time yesterday. A big reason for that is because the winds have shifted. So there's that area of high pressure. As that moves off toward the east, we might see a chance for rain, although not tonight. You can see moving into the overnight hours and into the early morning hours on Tuesday, we're looking pretty dry, just some passing clouds here and there. Tuesday, you can see some showers perhaps up to the north, but not here. Now, Wednesday, we are expecting the introduction of some isolated showers and thunderstorms. I'm leaning actually more toward the dry side. Here you can see Wednesday, 6 o'clock. We're still dry. Haven't seen much rain, but you do see some rain up here to the northwest, kind of closer toward northeastern part of Indiana. And then as we head into the evening, you see a couple isolated showers there. So we'll have to see, but we definitely expect Wednesday to be the beginning of your typical summertime wet pattern, I would say. It's not going to rain every day at your house, but we are going to have some isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms each day. Think about isolated. You know, a storm is isolated. There's not much around it. There are fewer versus scattered where there are a few more. So isolated to scattered depending on the day. Highs in the 80s, lows near 70.
Thank you, Robert. The possibility of a UPS strike looms as negotiations between the shipping giant and the Teamsters Union have reached a standstill. If that